A life on stage seems to have been a very good thing for Carol Channing, who is as full of energy and enthusiasm now as she was when the curtain first went up on what was to be a wonderful career. That was a while ago, but never mind. The curtain is still up.
Just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden hands, and she'll match him up. Oh,
Dolly Levi.
That's right, Mrs. Dolly Levi, the legendary matchmaker who first blazed her way across the American musical comedy stage in 1964, is back.
That's right, Mrs. Dolly Levi, born Gallagher, Social Introductions.
Many others have played Dolly, but none with the success and the longevity of the star who invented her, Carol Channing.
I have always been a woman who arranges things like furniture and daffodils and lives. All of those lights.
But Carol is not ready to settle her performance into the memory books. Oh no, Carol Channing is currently on tour again in Hello Dolly.
And the cymbals crash.
Around the country and around the world, the real thing, live. 8 performances a week, city after city after city.
Give me an old trombone, give me an old baton before the parade passes by. I've never stopped. That's the important thing. The trick is really efficient help. And then it's like the circus. Each man to his post, and finally the center pole comes down. The stage manager says, take it down, and we're on our way. We're 7 minutes late. All aboard! All aboard!
Do you still enjoy playing this role as much as ever?
It's the happiest I've ever been in my life, Charles Osgood. It's the happiest, and it's because the company is so wonderful. They are dedicated, they're vital and young and exciting and beautiful, and they recharge me.
beneath your parasol, the world is all a smile.
They're such strong, like a team of thoroughbred horses, and the gun just went off.
Get out your feathers, your patent leathers, your beads and buckles and bows, for there's no better day in your Sunday clothes.
Has this evolved for you, though, in some way? I mean, as you've gotten older and had more experiences?
Yes, it's my only barometer that I've learned something. I must tell you, to drop a name, John Gielgud, when we were playing it in London, said, you Americans forget your classic characters. I do Hamlet every 15 years or so. He said, you should do Hello Dolly. And I realized he's right, it's a classic character. Our contribution to American art form is the American musical comedy, musical theater.
Is that what you wanted to be? Say, when you were at Bennington, did you always want to become an American musical theater star?
Yes, quietly. I never told anybody from the 4th grade on. I saw Ethel Waters when I was in the 4th grade in As Thousands Cheer. And this magnificent woman, her face was her Stradivarius. She made me feel what I feel when I hear Isaac Stern play the violin.
Supper time. Kids will soon be yelling for their supper time.
In the song Supper Time, Ethel Waters sings of her husband who is not coming home. Her husband who's been lynched.
Man of mine.
Nobody ever talked about it. It was something that was done and never spoken of. And it was in As Thousands Cheer. And she sang about this, and I got goosebumps. She didn't have an operatic voice. She had a voice that told me that story. She had a face that told me, her body told it. And I thought, such a world.
A kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend.
That world became Carol Channing's. Carol Channing was an established musical theater star long before Dolly.
Men grow cold as girls grow old, and
January 9th, 1950. Time magazine says, Carol Channing in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes is a new star who can make all of show business seem once again like a glamorous, robust legend.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
12 Broadway shows followed.
'Cause I'm a jazz baby. Little jazz baby, that's me.
Carol picked up an Oscar nomination for her role in Thoroughly Modern Millie. She worked for years with her dear friend George Burns.
I'll try to keep on smiling as long as your dear mother is here.
And that won't be too often, just 6 months, twice a year. Do you believe?
It was Burns who helped her shape an act that included conducting symphony orchestras, such as the Boston Pops. Shared affection on stage and off is a Channing trademark. At her Dallas opening, Carol received flowers from her friend Lady Bird Johnson.
They're Texas wild as flowers.
Her 1964 campaign work for President Johnson had landed her on Richard Nixon's hate list. She considers that one of her greatest honors.
And wouldn't you know, Richard Nixon put me on his hate list. Not because he didn't like my politics, he didn't like my singing voice.
Also at her Dallas opening, a toast from Lady Bird's former press secretary, Liz Carpenter.
I love you. I think Dallas loves you. Every place you go loves you. You're what's right about entertainment today.
You're looking swell, Manny, I can tell. Danny, you're...
From the look on their faces at the new cast recording session, Dolly's current cast members agree.
going strong.
Hello, Dolly.
Dolly is back where she belongs.
It's so nice to have you back where you belong.
I don't know who to thank for this company. We're blessed. I said, who should we thank? And they all pointed straight up. They felt just like I did. We don't know who to thank. Somebody's blessing us. I don't know what it is. That's why it's the happiest time in my life. They're as dedicated as I am. They're beautiful, and we'll never have a company like this. But I'll do it every 15 years. I'll be back in 15 years.